with the Amina. Well, I'm his wife. Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Janae, if you didn't know, and today's video is another true crime episode. So if you're ready, let's go. All right, y'all. So I did my nails, I don't know when, but here they are. Girl, this light is like shining real bad. Come on now. Okay, there they go. But yeah, this was my attempt at spring nails. I think I did a good job. I like these. These are really cute. I think I'm gonna do this again, but in a different, like with a different color scheme. It's super cute. And ooh, I unintentionally matched my shirt to my nails. Even though the orange was supposed to be more peachy, it's giving this color. But yeah, other than my nails, I don't think I got too much more to say in the beginning of this video. I don't think so. Oh, yes, I do. Okay, so if y'all been here, why is it blurry? Oh, okay. So if y'all been here for a little minute, y'all remember when I did themed weeks back in like, I think that was last year when I did themed weeks. Well, I don't know if it's going to be next week or the week after that, but I'm going to bring back themed week because I really enjoyed watching y'all try to guess what the theme of the week was. And I'm also trying to grow my channel. And it seemed like y'all enjoyed it too. So yeah, I'm going to do that again. So y'all going to get a video every day for 5 days. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to be next week or the week after that. Because, baby, let me tell you something. The editing on my phone has been a struggle. Because it keeps telling me that I don't have enough storage. But I refuse to pay for more storage. So, I be having to delete stuff. Free up some space. So, I don't know how 5 videos in a row is going to work. Like, at once. But I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make it work. But, baby, I need to hurry up and get this computer fixed. Because this editing on my phone, like the filming part is not a problem. The filming ain't the problem. It's the editing and then uploading that gives me grief. And other than that, I don't think I have anything else to say for real this time. So let's just go ahead and hop right into today's case. And it is 2009 at this point, and we are in Orlando, Florida, with a young lady named Jessica Devnani. And this is a young lady who's in her early 20s, and she is trying to get into the dating scene. And she was on a dating app. Now, I don't know which dating app it was, but she was scrolling the dating app, and she ended up coming across a man named Gregory Bender's profile, who was a 42-year-old hedge fund manager who lived in Orlando. And it said that he was very successful in his endeavors. Now, I really don't know what it was that caught Jessica's attention when she stumbled across Gregory's profile, because he was 42 and she was in her early 20s, like I said, and he's not a looker, in my opinion. But whatever it was, the attraction was mutual. And I mean, look at Jessica. She is absolutely freaking gorgeous. So I could see why Gregory would stop on her profile, but I don't know. Maybe it was his conversation. Maybe it was his salary. I don't know. Hell, he was probably shocked himself that Jessica showed any interest in him. So he jumped on it right away. And the two ended up hanging out and they clicked immediately. And Jessica said that it felt like they knew each other for their whole lives. Well, her whole life, not his. And they just became best friends. And eventually their friendship grew into a relationship. And as the relationship grew, the two of them would grow deeper and deeper in love with one another. And although there was some good times and some bad times, like typical relationships, Jessica noticed something about Gregory that she didn't too much care for, and that was that he had a jealous streak. Any man that Jessica talked to that Gregory knew about, he was throwing a fit over it. He did not want no other man talking to his woman. Jessica even said that when the two of them first started dating and they wasn't that serious, and hell, they might not have even been in a real relationship, like a boyfriend-girlfriend type of relationship at this point. But she said that she ended up going out with another guy on like a little date. And when Gregory found out about this, he flipped his shit. And he essentially started stalking the guy. Like, he was very possessive of her. But despite his threatening tendencies and his willingness to stalk people, Jessica loved Gregory, and it wasn't enough for her to just peace out like that. So she and Gregory would end up staying in a relationship for 8 years. And Gregory had even proposed to her, and she accepted. And the two of them started planning the future together. They was making wedding plans. They was talking about how many kids they wanted to have, like the whole 9. However, all of these plans will be halted in 2017 when Gregory had to have a procedure done. Now, I don't know exactly what the procedure was, it never said, but he ended up having to have some type of surgical procedure done where he would be in the hospital for a couple of days, post surgery. So while he was in the ICU recovering from surgery, Jessica decided that she was going to surprise him with a visit. And Jessica thought that this was about to be real cute. He wasn't expecting her to come on this particular day. She was going to show up and he was going to be super happy to see her and hopefully cheer him up after having this surgery. Little did she know that Gregory wasn't going to be the only one surprised by this visit, because when she walked in, she saw another woman sitting at her fiance's bedside. And the woman's name is Damara Sanchez. Now, she don't know this woman. She ain't never seen this woman before in her life. So she sees Damara sitting at Gregory's bedside and she look at Gregory like, what's she doing here? But Damara, she like, nah. What you doing here? And so Jessica says, I'm his fiance. And Damara hit her with the Amina, well, I'm his wife. And baby Jessica was shook. She didn't know what to do. So she just left. And she didn't talk to or go visit Gregory for the extension of his hospital stay. And I don't think she ever had intentions to talk to him again. However, several days after he got out of the hospital, Gregory ended up calling Jessica to try to explain the situation away. And I mean, the nerve of this man though, to actually be this jealous to go stalking people who talking to his girlfriend when he got a whole wife. The audacity. Anyways, Gregory told Jessica that this was nothing but a marriage of convenience. He said that he had married Damara so that her child could go to the school district that was where he lived at, so that her kid could be in a better school district. And I don't know how true or false that is, but what I do know is that you don't have to marry nobody to get their kid in a better school district. I'm just saying. But nonetheless, Jessica decided that she would give Greg another chance. She decided that she was going to stay with him. But she said that he had to divorce Damara. And Gregory agreed. He said, all right, cool, bet. It was nothing but a marriage of convenience anyways, so I will divorce her. However, months will go by and Gregory didn't so much as file the paperwork to even start the divorce proceedings. He was essentially stalling on getting this divorce, and Jessica wasn't having none of it. She was like, okay, all that jealousy stuff I could deal with, but you being married, that's a whole nother story, and I'm not here for it. I'm leaving you, and I'm leaving you for real this time. So Jessica broke off the relationship with Gregory and started to move on with her life. So it's June 2017 now, and it's been about a month since she and Greg have split up, and Jessica decided that she was gonna dip her toe back into the dating pool. And so she hopped back online onto another website, onto another dating site. So she's scrolling and comes across 25-year-old Patrick de la Cerda's profile. And Patrick is a very handsome young man, if I do say so myself. And so I can see why she would stop on Patrick's profile, and I can also see why Patrick would be interested in Jessica. So the two of them conversed for a little bit before eventually meeting, and once they met, the two of them hit it off even more than either one of them could have ever imagined. And even though Jessica was a bit hesitant to jump right back into another relationship, the connection that she and Patrick had was just way too strong to deny. So she just went in head first, and the two of them essentially entered into a whirlwind romance. However, the bliss would only last shortly, because a couple months after meeting Patrick, they started to share their relationship online for all of their friends and family to see. And one of the people who saw that Jessica was now in a new relationship was Gregory. And even though they had broken up and she was no longer his fiance, Gregory still didn't want her talking to nobody else. And so he found out who Patrick was and started stalking the man. And he also started making threats towards the both of them as well. But he did tell Jessica that if she agreed to meet with him one last time, that he would stop the threats. The threats would cease. And so Jessica was like, okay, in an effort to save my new relationship, let me just meet with this man one last time so that he can understand that I'm really not coming back to him. I'm in a new relationship. I'm happy. I'm in love. And, you got to stop with the threats, man. Now, hold on to this little tiny piece of information that she went to go meet with him one last time, because it's going to pop back up a little bit later. So she goes to meet with him. They talk. They separate. But nothing happens. The threats do not stop. The stalking does not stop. Gregory is constantly calling, leaving threatening voicemails, stalking them on Facebook, and doing too much. And pretty much still doing everything that he said he was going to stop doing. And eventually, Jessica and Patrick had enough. And in December of 2017, they decided that it would be a good idea for Jessica to file for a restraining order against Gregory. And so that's what she did. And she presented the courts with the threatening voicemails, any texts that she may have gotten that were threatening. And the restraining order was indeed granted. And Gregory was ordered to have no contact with Jessica at all. No phone calls, no emails, no bird signals, none of that. He could not contact Jessica at all. Also, he was ordered to hand over all of his firearms. So those are the stipulations of the restraining order. No contact, no guns. And after Gregory was served with this restraining order, Patrick and Jessica felt a sense of relief because the threatening phone call stopped. He stopped messaging her. He stopped leaving voicemails. It seemed as though he was following the restrictions of this restraining order. And so Jessica and Patrick started living their lives and life was good. And shortly after the restraining order was put in place, Patrick actually proposed to Jessica. Now, he proposed with a temporary engagement ring until the one that he actually wanted to present her with came in the mail. And the two of them were just super excited about the direction that their lives was going. However, on February 17th, 2018, their lives would go in a completely different direction. So on this day, Patrick would get a text from his dad who was out of town doing, I think it was some construction work for his business at the time, because Patrick lived with his dad. So Patrick got this text from his dad saying that his dad had just gotten the call saying that there was a delivery at the door. Now, Patrick had been waiting for this permanent engagement ring to come. So he's getting super excited because he's like, finally, the engagement ring is here. I can give it to Jessica. I'm excited, right? Well, unfortunately, when he went to the door to open it, he would be shot 4 times. And I don't know if Patrick passed away right away, but I do know that he did end up passing away at the scene. Now, at this point, Patrick's dad is on his way back from out of town, and Jessica was also on her way to Patrick's house because she felt like something was wrong. And the reason that she felt this way is because earlier that day while she was at work, she had received 2 calls from Gregory. Now, she didn't answer these phone calls, but the fact that Gregory was calling her again after 2 months, she just felt something in her spirit that said, I need to get to Patrick and I need to get to him now. So when she left work, she headed straight to Patrick's house. Now, she worked in Orlando and Patrick lived in Deltona. And there's about a 35-mile difference between the two. So it was going to take her a little minute to get there. But she knew that she needed to get there as fast as she could. And obviously her instinct was correct because as soon as she got there, that is when she saw Patrick laying in the front hallway, deceased. And she immediately called the police. Now, I don't know if Patrick's dad showed up right after the police or right before the police, but the police and Patrick's dad showed up fairly closely to one another. And the police asked Jessica and his dad if they knew of anybody who would want to hurt Patrick. And his dad didn't, but Jessica said it was probably my ex-boyfriend, Gregory. So right away they had Gregory in their line of sight. So they took Jessica down to the police station and got her to call Greg to see if he would tell her anything. So she calls Greg and she's like, you did it. You ruined my life. Fuck you. And he's like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do it. I saw it on the news. I'm so sorry for your loss, but it wasn't me. He didn't confess to nothing. So even though there was that suspicion that it might have been Greg, there wasn't enough to arrest him for murder. However, they were able to arrest him for violating the restraining order when he called Jessica that morning at work. So while Greg is sitting in jail for violating the restraining order, detectives get a call from Greg's now ex-wife, Damara. And she tells them that she wants to meet with them because she got some information that she didn't know she had until now. So she said that while they were still married, she saw a whole murder plan that Gregory had concocted to kill Patrick de la Cerda. And she said that when she confronted Greg about it, he pretty much just said that it was a fantasy and that it was nothing to worry about. And when Damara divorced him in 2017, she said that she completely forgot about the whole murder plot until she saw on the news that Patrick de la Cerda had been murdered, and she knew that she needed to come forward. And so now with Damara's statements, the detectives had enough to at least get a search warrant to search Gregory's home. And when they got there, they didn't really think they was going to find anything of significant value. However, in a trash can just there was this whole murder plan and a literal map of Patrick's property. And a part of the murder plan that was in the trash said, make sure Patrick is alone, turn off cell phones, and get rid of clothes. And in addition to finding this murder map and plan, Detectives also found a single bullet in like a junk drawer that appeared to match the shell casings that was found at the crime scene. So now they had more than enough to arrest him for the murder of Patrick de la Cerda. And I don't know when Gregory got out for violating the restraining order, but it said that he was rearrested on his front lawn. And Gregory maintained his innocence and pled not guilty. And so they went to trial in 2021. And the prosecution pretty much put forth the case that Gregory was an obsessed ex who couldn't deal with the fact that Jessica had moved on with her life. And the defense, I really truly don't know what their defense was, but during the trial, they had played videos of Gregory and Jessica having lunch together. Gregory was like rubbing on Jessica, trying to hold her hand and all kinds of stuff. And these videos had been taken after she and Patrick had gotten together. And so I think they was trying to put it to the jury like, okay, she was playing him and he lost his mind because she was leading him on. I don't know. But when Jessica took the stand and they asked her about these videos, she said, yeah, I met with him because he told me he would stop threatening us if I did. And the reason that it was caught on video was because Gregory had hired a PI to film them while they was on this lunch date. And at first I was kind of confused as to why he would hire the PI to get this video. But then Jessica said that Gregory has sent this video to Patrick, and I guess it was in hopes that Patrick would be like, oh, so you still with this man, and leave her. But it didn't work because the two of them had broke up for like 3 days and then got back together. So Greg, you suck. The defense tried their best, child, but in the end, Greg was ultimately found guilty and sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. But yeah, that brings us to the end of today's case. Thank you all so very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Y'all, I really don't be having nothing else to say at the beginning of the... And we are in Orlando, Florida, with a young lady named Jessica Devnani, okay. I don't know what a hedge fudge man, what? However, all of these plans will be halted in 2017 when Jessica, no, not Jessica. And even though Jessica was, what? And in December of 2017, they decided that it would be a good idea for Jessica to file for a restraining order against Derek. No. Who the fuck is Derek? Against, what is his name? Gregory. However, on February 17th, And the prosecution pretty much put forth the case that Gregory was an obsessed, is that right? Yeah. Was an obsessed ex. The reason that it was recorded was because Derek, his name is not Derek.